Hello, I'm Lloydetta Quaco, and welcome to Sharing Our Cultures. Joining us today is CJ. She's an author, she's a public speaker, and she's a community leader. And we'll be back with that conversation. Welcome back to Sharing Our Cultures, and joining us now is CJ. So we're really happy to have you on our program.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's a pleasure to be here as well.
All right. And you're talented. You're an author, you sing, you're a life coach, you're a public speaker, you're a mentor, you're a teacher, like you're so many things. I don't really know where to start, but maybe we should start off with how you came to be in Newfoundland Labrador in the first place.
First of all, I want to thank you for the honor and the privilege to have me here. It's actually, a privilege to be here. I also want to, appreciate all the good work you're doing in our city, Newfoundland and Labrador. I know we met a few years ago, and I know the work you're doing, all through. So I really appreciate, your work here. You inspire me a lot as well.
Thank you.
Moving on, first of all, my name is Chinwe Awolesi. A lot of people call me CJ for short. Originally from Nigeria, my husband and I, got married and we moved to United Kingdom in year 2005, and that's where we started our journey. So there, I think about 3 years into, living in the United Kingdom, Manchester to be precise, I became a fashion designer. That fashion, it was a hobby. My mom, first of all, was a fashion designer, so I think I picked it up from her somehow, I don't know, or it's in me. And, I just wanted to make something for my daughter, who was 2 at the time. And, just started making pieces for myself and her. And before I knew it, people wanted to know about my pieces. Fast forward, that fashion designing, grew, just without me even actually doing anything, and it became a brand. And, we went ahead to, receive awards, and, it started inspiring other women and, moms. But fast forward to 2017, I had an encounter with the Lord. I know that's, different for Christians. Is a relationship. My relationship with the Lord, went deeper. And he I know it's a bit strange, but he wanted me to, he wanted me to move into the health care where, we could reach out to more people, whether impacting them, in prayers and, just to reach out to them. But I didn't know how to do that because obviously I was naturally a fashion designer. And so, but somehow, my husband, who is a very huge support of everything you mentioned, encouraged me, so I had to go through a training, and that's when I started working with the NHS over in the United Kingdom. And that's, the government body. So that's where I started working with the Manchester Royal Hospital. So there, my journey, both with the Lord and, what I was supposed to, do, continued. Then fast forward to 2019, we went for missionary. I'm actually a missionary. Oh, okay. So we went to missionary work in the United States and Nigeria. Coming back to England, I was, kneeling down to pray to thank God for the journey mercies and all he did. And he said, grab your passport. We're going to Canada. Now, I didn't know anyone in Canada, so it was a bit scary because I have young children. By the way, I'm also a mom of 4. So at that point, I didn't know what to do. I had to speak to my husband. I said, this is what the Lord is saying. We're moving to Canada. But somehow he's been speaking to me about Newfoundland, even though we didn't know about the city. And anyway, fast forward, he agreed. He said, anyway, there's no way we can get to this land because anyone who naturally listens to you would not understand. So what we'll do, we'll have to find a route to get there. While we're in the process, I think 3 months after that, this was in August. So 3 months, that was it. By November, we have different Atlantic nominee, what's it called, who came over to England.
Provincial nominee.
Yes, who came over to England
yeah.
at the same time to hire nurses over at, over in England, right? And here I was a healthcare professional along with my husband. And so he told me about it and we went for the interviews and, long story short, we passed. As a matter of fact, by the time we got and we saw the different provinces, and then one of them was Newfoundland and Labrador. As soon as I saw Newfoundland, I knew that was the land. I know it's a bit strange, but spiritually, so as soon as I saw Newfoundland, I knew we needed to be there. And that was how, we went for an interview and they fell in love with us and here we are.
Okay, wow.
So it's a strange journey, but
right.
yeah.
No, but it's the reality.
Yes,
for you,
that's
what,
my truth.
Yeah,
Yes,
so that's how it happened because it's different from different people.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
different experiences.
Yes.
So, how much information did you have about Newfoundland Labrador before you actually left England?
So, okay, let me mention we had not heard about Newfoundland before, so it was a huge step of faith, that we had to. But of course, we knew Toronto, we knew Canada, we knew Halifax, and that was as far as we knew, but we never heard about Newfoundland. However, when we knew that we were coming, when we were certain, all the applications went through, we started researching, we checked on YouTube, where is Newfoundland and how to get there and all that. And so, yeah.
Okay. All right. So you arrived in Newfoundland, you came through St. John's.
Yes, we came through Toronto.
We came to Toronto.
And then Halifax, and then we arrived.
So when you arrived at the airport, was there anyone else there that you knew? Did someone welcome you? Like, so from getting off the plane and when you settled, like, what was that process like?
Actually, the first thing we noticed when we stepped into Newfoundland was the warmth and the friendliness of the people. They were warm, they were welcoming, and we felt welcomed when we came in. I think that's the first thing we noticed. Yeah.
When you were saying warm, I was like, what time of the year did you?
No, not the weather. I mean the people. The people kind of make up for the weather. I should say that. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I've heard that before as well. Okay, so you got off the airport, then you knew, were arrangements already made for where you'll stay?
Oh yes, the company. So the company that hired us at the time, made the arrangement. So we had a cab waiting already and all the stuff. Yeah.
Okay, and you already had a home.
We had a place. Yeah. They arranged all those stuff before we arrived.
All right, so that's made it easier for you.
Yes, yeah. However, we arrived in the middle of COVID, so so we arrived in 2021.
Okay, so there was COVID, so you had to quarantine?
Yes, we did. We had to quarantine for like, how many, 4 weeks or 3 weeks? Yeah, it was a long time.
Then. And then you had to start work?
Yes, immediately.
Immediately after that?
After that,
okay. So did you know ahead of time where you would be placed? Like, was it in a hospital? Was it in a home? Was it in a long-term care facility? Like, did you have all that information?
Yeah, we had where we were working. Yeah. So it was the company that brought us over that we were working for. Yes.
Okay. All right. So that worked well.
Yeah, that worked well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how would you say the culture in Nigeria compares with the culture here?
Culture in Nigeria is actually totally different. Being born in Nigeria, you have different cultures. Like, for example, I'm Igbo, my husband is Yoruba, so we speak 2 different languages. And so in Nigeria, we have about 36 states in Nigeria, and with over 200 and something languages, so there's diversity in languages. You find different food and different cultures, yeah. And then also in England, because, born in Nigeria, but most of my adult life was in England. There also you meet different, cultures, different diversity, different people. And yeah, compared to here is a bit more quieter. But I like it in a way. It's family oriented, if you like. It's quiet. It's a place you can raise family, and yeah.
All right. So in terms of the cuisine, in terms of, just your regular lifestyle, how much of a change did you have to make to integrate and settle here?
It was a whole lot of adjustment because it was totally different, especially for the children who, they've made friends, they were born in England anyway, so it's a whole lot of change for them. The transition, it was a lot for them, but with time, they started going to school, making new friends, and started adapting, yeah. Okay. Yeah, for us, the parents, we are adults, right? So we were working and we could make those adjustments easily compared to the children.
All right. So can I ask then, what motivated you, what encouraged you to say, we want to stay here, we want to live here, work here, stay here, raise our family?
Again, I don't know, the scripture says that our, steps are ordered by the Lord. And like I said earlier when we started, we came in as missionaries. And so that is what is keeping us here. The Lord wants us here at this time. And that is why we are here. And being here, even though we are working as well as professionals in our, different fields, however, the main reason we came is to do the Lord's work, and we've been doing that.
Okay, well, thank you so much for doing that and really contributing to the community. Yeah. We will talk a little bit more about that in the next section, because I am really interested in knowing how you're blending your professional career and your work as a missionary, and then we'll talk about some of the your book you've written and some of the activities that you offer to residents here in Newfoundland Labrador. So hold the thoughts. We'll be back with you.
Okay.
And Sharing Our Cultures will be right back.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
And welcome back to Sharing Our Cultures and the beautiful CJ. I would like to find out more about your work and your work as an author and what you've written. And we'll probably talk a little bit more about the other areas that you've been involved in our community. Okay. But this book you've written, Beauty in Brokenness. The title, well, I'd like to know more about it because the title captivated me when you think about brokenness, and then you think that there can be beauty in that. How did you come about this title, and what is the book about? Wow.
Well, firstly, the title came from the Holy Spirit. I wrote that actually earlier in my fashion designing days. The Lord had told me I'll be writing a book, so I was so intrigued. I was thinking I was going to write on fashion because that's what I love. That was my breathe and all that. But it didn't come. I tried to start writing it, but the words didn't come true. So I abandoned it, even though I was, writing other projects like, some articles or columns in magazines, Christian magazines and all that. But I thought that would be it. Little did I know that he would take me through a journey. And so that journey happened between, I think, 2016 and 2017, where he told me to, the time for fashion was over. Even though, we were touching lives through fashion, like I mentioned, mentoring women, in fashion and all that stuff. But it came a time when he said the fashion season of my life was over, and I had to, take upon the ministry that he had given me more seriously. For me, it was a painful period because fashion was really my life, and to lay it down was what broke the brokenness, because he had to, I had to lay it down. And he said, then he reminded me in prayer that I told you were going to write a book. Now this is it. Prior to that, I think when I was having, one of my children, I think in 2014, I went through the near-death experience where I almost, lost my life. The baby also stopped breathing, but along the way, the Lord brought me back. Again, these are, spiritual experiences I had, and he told me that you'll be touching many more lives, and I need you to do my work. So that was kind of where my journey began. Anyway, long story short, all those are written in that book. But anyway, that now, so with that journey from the, delivery room, where, I was brought back to life and all the miracles happened. From there, my life really transitioned and I started walking deeper with him. By 2017, he said, every experience you have gone through in life, because a lot of people are going through stuff in life. People are going through terminal diseases. People are losing hope and, going through different brokenness. And he said, the time I told you we're going to write a book is the experiences you have gone through. I want you to pen it down so that it will help the readers who would read it. So I kind of bare myself open. I was really vulnerable in that book. And so wrote it and completed in 2018. And here we have it. So this is me telling, my journey through brokenness. And brokenness can actually be beautiful if you lay it at the feet of Jesus. Okay. So that's where the beauty comes. All right. Okay. So because, at that stage of my life, I was doing, even though it was successful, it was excellent work. However, when I laid it down and picked up the journey, working, with the ministry and what he wanted me to do, I found that fulfillment. I found that peace. I found that joy that no man can give. So that's where the beauty comes, that indeed there is beauty in brokenness.
Right. Well, that must have been difficult for you to lay down something you were passionate about, something you'd done for so many years in the fashion industry, and you did touch lives of many other women. And so what was your coping mechanism? Like, did you just the next day just said, that was it, don't want to touch it anymore? Or was it a gradual process?
Well, like I documented in that book, we had actually moved into an office we've been praying for so many years. He opened that door. We got into the office, moved into it. We were really excited about it. One of the things we were also praying for as a business then was to break into the New York Fashion Week. For us, that was huge. He said, okay. He opened that door. And then he said, I wanted to show you I can open these doors, but I can close them. Okay. So he, through that process, he showed me that he is a God of possibilities who opens doors. He just wanted to show me that anything I wanted was in him. Does it make sense? Yes. And so he showed me, okay, now New York Fashion Week, they got us, they invited us to come over. Almost at the time to conclude everything, he said, that was just my strategy to tell you I can open doors. And then the door was closed again. It was really painful. But looking at from that time and where I am now, I'm really grateful I laid it down, because a lot of things have actually been bettered through that season, and many more lives have been impacted compared to what I was doing earlier. So I'm grateful for that.
Okay, well, thank you.
Not easy, but yeah, I cried a lot, but here we are today, and we give him glory. Yeah.
Because New York Fashion Week is huge, if you can get your fashion onto that.
Yeah.
Right? And it was great that you were able to have that opportunity. But as you said, you're touching many more lives through this ministry than there. Because for many people, brokenness is painful.
It is
very painful. And trying to cope with that and going through the emotional impact, the mental stress, and physical stress.
I went through those. I went through depression. Yeah. Like I said, when I speak to women, I know in somehow we kind of downplay it, but depression is real. I went through depression in that season of my life. Again, it was the Lord that helped me through that journey, and this is what I let people know. you know, yeah.
All right, I'm going to read this for sure. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
being obedient and
Yeah.
getting this work done and being able to share it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're an author, you're also a life coach, you're a singer.
I'm not a singer.
Oh, when
Well,
you sing?
I worship. Yeah,
You love
yeah,
singing?
you've seen me
Okay.
worshiping throughout programs.
Okay,
Yes.
so we've got a beautiful
Yeah, I
voice.
do.
Maybe that's something
I
you
don't-
don't know you have already.
Yeah.
And but you're a public speaker.
Yeah,
You're a
I'm a-
community leader.
Yeah.
Now tell us some of the activity. I know you're a teacher as well. Tell us some of what this ministry as a missionary entails.
Okay, so we are called the Emissaries of God's Kingdom Ministries. It started off in the United Kingdom. This was in 2015, so it'll be 9 years this year by the grace of God. Again, over there in England, we were, working with other, different ministries. Our mission really is to impact a generation with the influence and revelation of Jesus Christ through the help of the Holy Spirit, just making it simple. One word, revealing Jesus through every aspect of our life. And my husband is also, we are co-founders of Emissary of God's Kingdom Ministry. Emissary of God's Kingdom Ministry also has an arm, which is called Just Jesus Conference, which, we were opportune for you to, I think you prayed for the women in one of the conferences, and, we've been going different nations. We were in Nigeria in 2019, like I mentioned. We were in the US, we're here now, and England was where it started. And the journey have been amazing. And also through our ministry we also have a women's ministry, which was bettered through the delivery room experience. So we have a ministry now here, which is called the Delivery Room Experience, where women pray and, encourage each other, women in business, in all walks of life. And I'm also a mentor, a coach, also inspiring young women, young people, to let them know that life, there's more to life. And the reason we are here on earth is to live out our purpose, that without purpose, really, we may achieve every other thing, but there'll still be that emptiness, So I wanted to, let them know that. And so that's what my husband and myself have been doing for the past 9 years, and also raising our children.
Okay, all right. So, and what do you want to pass on to the next generation in terms of the young ones coming?
For the young generation, I would say to them, there's more to life. They shouldn't give up hope. They shouldn't be in a hurry. There is actually power in staying, slowing down and staying for some time. I know we live in a fast-paced world, but sometimes it's actually great to silence the noise and learn to stay. This is one of the things we teach young people in the class. Learn to stay, because if you can hear the rhythm of your own heart, then you can hear the rhythm of God as well, because he likes to talk to his people, and he's the one who orders our step. And this is, part of what we let them know. And, life is also a journey. It's one baby step at a time. When you have a little baby, they sit, they lie and all that. So it's bit by bit. Don't be in a rush. Just one baby step at a time, you get there.
Okay, and so that's good to know that young people can still have beauty in, because a lot of them think, you mentioned having to go through depression. So a lot of young people have mental health issues, and so something like what you offer, that life coach, that mentoring, is something that could help them.
Yeah. Well, our coaching school is actually called the EGKM School of the Prophetic. Okay. So in this class, most times people come wanting to know what their purpose in life is. And so we take them through an 8-week class. And I tell you, by the beginning, before they get to the 4th class, they already have clarity. And again, this is all by the, the things I've learned over time and the trainings I've led, and, also through the help of the Holy Spirit and prayers. By the 4th week, they already have clarity. Before they finish, they're already, soaring and knowing who truly they are. And so it's always exciting to see, both young people, adults as well, go through that journey and, living up their purposes. Actually, I'm really about purpose.
Okay. I can tell you're passionate about that.
Yes,
Yes, okay. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for sharing
pleasure.
with us today. A lot of things I didn't know, so I'm happy. A lot of those watching as well may not have known, but I really do appreciate and wish you well. And thank you that you've chosen to be here and to stay here. And I hope you will for a long time to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Sharing Our Cultures will be right back. Thanks so much to CJ for sharing her life experiences with us. And thanks to you for watching. Join us again next time for more remarkable stories from people from around the world who are living in Newfoundland and Labrador.